Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about a simple Qigong concept that you can apply right away that will really improve your Qigong practice. Like most things in life, it's a very simple idea and it can be applied right now, even as we are speaking. So if you're watching here live, thank you so much for joining in. And if you're watching on the replay, it's wonderful that you're joining in. So if we haven't met before, my name is Jeffrey Chand. I'm an acupuncturist, practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine, and Qigong instructor. We create videos of Qigong practice that are really simple and easy here on Facebook, on YouTube, and in the Communi-Qi. So there's lots of different practices to explore, whether you're brand new to Qigong practice or you're just trying to improve your practice and go a little bit deeper with it. We always provide a lot of new content. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the idea of this one concept that can improve your Qigong practice. First of all, I have to apologize for the kind of the title to try to draw people in. It's always a challenge just trying to create content that people will want to watch. But this concept, again, it can be applied right away, and it's one of these fine ideas. I mean, as in a small idea, it may seem very simple at first, but it can really dramatically improve your Qigong practice. Now, everybody practices for different reasons, whether it's for health purposes, for mental, emotional purposes, for spiritual purposes, and this idea applies to all of these reasons for practicing. So I'm sure you're familiar already, but Qigong is the combination of gentle movement, breathing, and a positive intention. So gentle movement in Qigong is just that. It's gentle. It's easy on the body. Just like Hippocrates said, first do no harm. So we want to move the body in a way that's not going to cause any harm. So movement in Qigong is generally considered to be circular. So there's no beginning, there's no end. It's just kind of moving in a nice big circle. This is very good for the joints. It's good for blood circulation and the Qi circulation. The movements are going to help with circulation, but they're also can be helpful for flexibility and for increasing strength. If you need to put on 50 pounds of lean muscle, there are probably better ways to do that than Qigong practice. But if you want to increase circulation throughout all your soft tissues, your internal organs, your fascia, your brain, the gentle movements through Qigong are really helpful. Now, the second factor of good Qigong practice is actually breathing. You can just do breathing, and that can be considered Qigong. Some lineages and styles are just breathing. You can practice Qigong while you're just sitting or even standing or laying down, and that would be a Qigong practice. There are many different types of breathing practices, but probably about 5 or 6 are the majority of it. But just focusing on breathing for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, just breathing, that alone can be so effective for health. As you probably already know, most people don't breathe deeply enough or enough. Well, actually, no, we do breathe enough or else we would not be living. So we do breathe enough, but just not enough to promote full vitality. So we need to breathe deeply into the lower part of our lungs. People say we got to breathe into the belly. We don't technically ever breathe into the belly, but we get that feeling that we're breathing deeply and it's going down into the belly. So we need breathing to help oxygenate the system, to help get rid of waste material like carbon dioxide, but also just to stimulate the nervous system. The new research has been showing that just breathing alone can help balance a lot of nervous system issues that we have. And I chuckle when I say new research, because this is an old concept, the idea of using breathing to help your health. Thousands of years old, but the new research is discovering something new. But I'm glad it's just a different way of expressing the same thing. Breathing is good for health. Breathing is good for the mind. Breathing is also good for the emotions and maintaining health. So we have good gentle movement, we have breathing, and we have positive intention. Qigong practice is greatly affected by positive intention. So we say positive intention. There's lots of different reasons why people might want to have positive intention. There's a lot of reasons why people practice, and here are all the different types of intentions that we can have. So we can be practicing to have more energy, less stress, less anxiety, better health function, like perhaps better digestion or better lung function, We can be practicing to have a clear mind, to have peacefulness, maybe longevity. Some people practice for martial arts purposes, to strengthen their body, to make them sort of impervious to attack. And just as a side note, there are many different styles of Qigong practice, and this style that we present here is not necessarily focused on hardening the body and making us bulletproof, but that style is out there. And then there's also a way we can have an intention to have connection with yourself and with other people and with nature. And one of my favorite descriptions is to feel a sense of vitality. Vitality means having good, bright energy when we need it, and also having good, peaceful, tranquil energy when we need it. So it's both, having both at the same time and being able to go from one to the other, vitality. So these are all good intentions to have. And ideally, we want it to be a positive intention. So sometimes we have an intention, well, often when I have classes, I'll ask people, well, why are you here? What is your intention with practicing? And so sometimes people will say, well, I have aches and pains and I want to help with that, or I want to do a moving meditation. I want to meditate, but I get too cold, so I want to try something that invigorates the body. And then sometimes people will say, I don't know, I just came with this person, and they have no intention in their practice. And that's okay. It's still benefit from moving the body and breathing, but it's better if we do have a positive, affirmative intention. So the point of, oops, I gave it away. But when we do have intention, it's great. But what we actually want to have is an aligned intention. That was on the slide there, aligned intention. So not just intention, but aligned. So years ago, I saw a patient who she was waiting for retirement. She was really excited. She was waiting for retirement. She was going to travel the world. She was going to drive around the world in her RV. Well, maybe not the world, but drive around the continent in her RV and explore. And she was really excited for retirement. But 6 months before her retirement was about to kick in, she woke up and she started feeling tightness in her fingers, tightness in her wrists, tightness in her shoulders and back. And her knees started to feel achy and her whole body was aching. And that actually just started to get worse the closer she got to retirement. And it turned out that she had sort of a very abrupt onset of rheumatoid arthritis and was experiencing all these aches and pains. So she retired and she was ready to travel the world, but now her body was not feeling very good. So she came into a acupuncture clinic and looking for all sorts of help. And I could see that she had a very, very strong, what I like to call the intrinsic motivation. She was so motivated to help herself. Her intention was extremely aligned. She wanted to do everything she possibly could. So whether it's acupuncture, physiotherapy, water exercises, changing her diet, she was so aligned. Her intention was extremely aligned. So that's an aligned intention. The mind, the body, the heart, the emotions, the higher self, the spirit, everything all has the same intention. Another man in the similar sort of way, he had a new baby. He brought new life into this world, and he was so excited and happy through the whole process. And he was walking up the stairs when his baby was maybe about 2 weeks old or so. And he was halfway up the stairs, and all of a sudden, he felt his heart beating quickly for no reason, tachycardia. And so he thought he was having a heart attack. It turned out to be nothing at all. But he thought, my goodness, this child, this being is going to be here for a very long time, and he might not be. And so he was starting to seek out help, anything he could do. He did a lot of dietary and lifestyle changes. He changed the role he was doing in his job to help reduce his stress, because the idea of not being around as his child was growing up was horrifying to him, understandably. So his intention was very aligned. So this is the idea of having an aligned intention. So you can probably think about that for yourself. How can you align all of your intention? What does your body want to do? What does your mind want to do? What is your heart telling you to do? And if you can bring that into your Qigong practice before you begin your practice, it will really help very fine details in your practice. So if you have a clear intention that I really need to strengthen my body, you'll breathe differently, you'll move differently, you'll focus a little bit differently. You'll be able to perhaps if you're trying to strengthen your body, you might naturally want to say, okay, I'm going to strain my muscles a little bit more. If you have an aligned intention that's about creating harmony and peacefulness and tranquility in your mind, perhaps it'll be easier to remind yourself to relax, relax. You're standing in horse stance, you're tightening up, and you can remind yourself to relax. So we actually subconsciously start doing things that help with our aligned intention. So this is why it's so important. So that's the idea, that's the concept, is that if we can align our intention very clearly, very short phrase that we can use, that we can kind of adjust ourselves or kind of set the course before we even begin our practice. It'll really help the effects and the benefits that we get out of Qigong. So there are a couple of fine details of this. One of them being is that it can change. It can completely change. One day you may be feeling really good. You may have a lot of mental space and energy, and then you'll feel like, okay, I want to connect with the cosmos and connect with nature and feel one with the universe, feel connected to all my brothers and sisters in the world, and be very connected. Another day, you might have had a rough interaction with somebody and you feel like, my intention is not there. I don't feel as if I'm one with the universe. I just want to get rid of this tension in my body, in my mind. I want to be able to let go of that memory. So your intention can change from day to day. That's completely normal. We don't always have to have this big cosmic poetic way of practicing. It can be simple. It can be just, I just want to feel just a little bit better today. I want to practice, and after I'm done, I just feel just a little bit better. That's okay. That's a totally fine intention to have. But as long as it's aligned, sometimes we can make the mistake of having the cosmic intention of being enlightened, but meanwhile we're really just being bothered by a certain event that just happened. So take that time to align that, and it's okay. Allow it to change and to move. Now, one final thing, a finer detail that I'll mention is that the first one was that it can change, and the second thing is that unfortunately, nobody can do this for us. Nobody can say, okay, I am going to shuffle through this book here, and this is your intention. This is something that we need to do ourselves. This is something we should give ourselves the permission to do ourselves as well. No one can figure out what is completely aligned for you, but we just need that time to go through our mind, go through our body, go through our experiences, go through our conscious thoughts and our unconscious thoughts, and see what our true aligned intention would be. For some people, they have no problem whatsoever. They know it. They feel it right away. Perhaps it stays with them all their entire life. But other people, they might have challenges with it. They can't figure it out. And then they need a little bit more time to figure out, well, what is my intention here, my aligned intention? Some of the easiest ways one of the easiest ways to do this is to not necessarily go into a cave in the Himalayas and go into a deep meditation, but simple ways is to grab some paper and a pen and just start writing. Start writing it out. Ask yourself, what is my intention with my work, with my time with my friends and family, with my Qigong practice? What is my intention? And it'll come out. Just ask the question and it'll come out. So that's the idea. Those are the two fine points, is that your intention, your aligned intention can change. And we also need just to do this for ourselves. No one will know better for you. You'll know best for yourself. As long as we just are honest in our approach and are authentic. So that's the idea for today, is this concept that will help your practice is aligned intention. And bring that into your practice, as small of a detail as that can be, as small of a thing it can be. It really is helpful. It can really drastically shift your practice and what you're getting out of it. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I know there are some of us watching here live, and thank you so much. And I always look forward to hearing what you have to say. So if you have seen this and you know, this is my aligned intention, feel free to write it down in the comments section, because honestly, like I learned so much from other people's experience. Yes, there's theoretical knowledge and there's my personal experience, but I learned so much from the way people express things and hearing, based on your life experience, this is what it means. I never even thought about it like that. So if you know what your aligned intention is, whether it's really, really simple and concise, or whether it's a cosmic intention, feel free to share it if you feel comfortable with that, because I'd love to hear it. Well, thank you all so much for being here and sharing this time together. Again, if you want to learn more, you can go to the qigongforvitality.com, and we have all of our YouTube videos and Facebook videos there. Lots of free content there. But if you're really interested, do come join the Communi-Qi. We have lots of content there. We're adding in a 5-element horse dance video pretty soon, and a second version of the 8 brocades, and so we're always adding new content. And here's some clips from some of the videos, and there's a very warm, welcoming forum where people are sharing different ideas, and they're sharing their different experiences with Qigong, and that's kind of nice too when we can be practicing and just know that we're not the only ones doing this. Because maybe locally you know people that you can practice with, but sometimes in the community you just can start talking about Qigong and people just understand it. So if you're interested, come join us. I'm sure you'll find something that you like. And thank you again for sharing enthusiasm and sharing your experience with Qigong, with the world and with yourself. And I think that's what we need right now, is just a good breath, clear mind, a little bit of calmness, clarity of thought. We need to use tools to help us keep healthy and strong, like lots of different tools. Medicine, we need diet, we need sleep, we need exercise, and we also need ourselves. We need to use our intention, let our body heal as it's naturally intending to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll roll an intro or outro, and we will see you next time. Thank you again so much. If you've enjoyed this style of Qigong, please come join the Communi-Qi for a wide variety of Qigong routines that's ideal for beginners, or if you already have some experience. The Communi-Qi has convenient, simple Qigong practices that are safe, gentle, and effective to help you feel healthy and full of vitality. Come join us today. If you haven't already, be sure to sign up for our newsletter in the link below so we can notify you when we release new YouTube videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.